Hello, my name is Steve. In this video, I'm going to review the process of creating the OB payment plan in ECW. The first two steps are to set up a patient global alert and edit that patient structured data to reflect that they're on an OB payment plan. To show that, I'm just going to jump to my test patient here in my dropdown. And from the hub, I want to go to the billing alert so that we can set that OB payment plan global alert. Once I'm here, I can go ahead and select Set Global Alerts. And now I can select from this list over here to the left, and I'll select OB payment plan / surgery. Once I select that and it gets pushed over to this box, I can check off this little box that makes that the priority global alert for this patient. And now I can edit the notes specific to this OB payment plan. So if I hit Edit Notes, I can now type out the details of this payment plan. So in this scenario, we'll say the patient has a $500 deductible and would like to set up a payment plan for that. So I can type out balance of $500, 5 payments of $100. You also want to go ahead and put in the EDD in this note section. So we'll say, once I have that information, I also want to go ahead and put in my initials. Now, as we collect these payments throughout the pregnancy, you want to make sure you go into this field and edit these notes to reflect the additional payments that you collect. So now I can hit OK, and I have that alert. I hit OK again, and you can see that that's listed right here. I'll close out of this screen. Now what I want to do is go ahead and edit the structured data for this patient. So I can click on the info screen here. I'll go right down to additional info. And at the top, we want to go to the structured field. Now you can see we have OB payment plan here. For the value on that field, I want to click on this drop down and go ahead and select OB payment plan. This is important for back-end reporting to get an idea of how many patients are actually on an OB payment plan. This allows us to run reports on that. When you are done, or when the patient is done making payments to the payment plan, you want to make sure you go back into this structured field and remove this identifier. But for now, we'll go ahead and leave that in here, and then I'll hit OK at the bottom. Hit OK once again, and then close out of the hub. Now we've created the patient global alert and edited the structured data for that patient to reflect that they're on a payment plan. The next step is entering the charge code for that payment plan. And to do that, we need to go ahead and create a claim. So I'll go to my billing band and then select claims. And at the bottom, what I want to do is go ahead and click on where it says claim and then create new claim. And from here, we want to go ahead and search for that same test patient. So test patient Jennifer. I know that it's her because we have this green little global alert, that identifier for the alert that we just created. So I can select that and hit OK. Now I want to make sure I always edit the actual providers here to make sure I have the correct provider, as well as the correct location or facility. Once I have that information here, I can also edit the service date to reflect the EDD for this patient. So I'll change this. It was April 1st. Once I have that completed, I can hit OK. And we'll need to make sure we select a valid resource. So let's come up here and make sure that that's correct. What I did there is my resource did not match my provider, so I needed to fix that. And then we'll hit OK. Now we have our claim window. We don't need to add an ICD code, but what we do need to do is add the CPT for the OB payment plan. Now to do that, I can hit Add. And over here, select the OB payment plan. You can see it's has a $0 amount tied to it. And then we'll hit OK. Now that's added here. The next step is to go ahead and click on Insurances and Payments. And I want to go ahead and make sure that I have two things set up here. I want to make sure that I change the status here to make sure that that reflects C5, OB payment plan patients. And I also want to make sure it's billed a patient. You see that uncheck the insurance information here. And the last step is to change the claim status to patient. And I have to find it from my list here. There we go. So we have our dates correct, we have our facilities correct, we have our providers correct. The claim status is to patient, and we have the C5 status here as well. And that's how you create the OB payment plan for a patient. Then I can hit OK. Thank you.